Hello everyone, welcome back to Maverick Mods. A little bit of an unusual week this week. Didn't get a whole lot of car stuff done. Did get a lot of stuff done, kinda. Worked on the Firebird, worked on the Dodge Ram pickup a little bit, and went and took a trip. And then got stranded. Couldn't make it back home. A little bit of everything. So, grab your popcorn, let's get started. This last week was going to be kind of a short week anyway because we had a trip planned, and more on that later. So I didn't get a whole lot done. Let's start with the Firebird. Last episode, I kind of left hanging the hood hinges. And the old hinges were worn out, got replacement hinges, and not the least bit impressed with them. I wish I could say that is resolved, but it's not. Although maybe next week, or I should say by next week, that little issue should be resolved. I'm just going to kind of start where I left off last week by looking at how bad the new replacement hinges were. I took them apart and not impressed. Take a look. All right, guys, round two on hood hinges. So I went ahead and I didn't even have to drill out. I just ground off the heads of the rivets on the replacement hinges. I have never seen softer steel ever. With my little die grind 2-inch disc, I went through that in 30 seconds. It was like butter. Unbelievable. So with this apart, here's where part of the problem lies. So if you look, I hope you can see this. When these things were stamped, nobody came and finished the edge here. So there's already a raised edge here. There's a slight one right here. And so when they clamped them together to rivet them together, there was already a gap. So that's the first problem. Second problem is, let's take a look at where the holes are. So you notice there's a pocket here and a pocket here. So take a look at where those holes are. I'm going to hold up. Now this is the back side of the original hinge. And if you notice, neither one of the holes is drilled properly. So on the original hinge, they're essentially centered. So there's room for the head or the whatever the back side of the rivet. Here, when this rivet went in, using that as an example, it was right up against the edge. So when the rivet goes in, the rivet can't even sit flat. It'll sit crooked no matter what you do. And that's part of the problem with these replacement hinges. It's just terrible. So what do I do about this? I'm not reusing these pieces. This is, I could fix this, but I'd have to weld it, grind it, and recenter the holes. And that's way too much work. I think what I'm going to try, essentially this is the original passenger hinge. The problem I have with it is it also has play. And that's just worn, it's just the rivets are worn out. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill these rivets out. Attempt number one is I'm going to drill these two rivets out. It seems like the rest of the hinge is actually fairly solid. It's just these two right here that are the problem. I'm going to drill those out and see if I can, it should be a 1/2 inch hole here. And I believe it's either a 3/8 or a 7/16. I think it's a 3/8 hole here. I'll drill these holes out and I'm going to just replace the rivets with 1/2 inch bolts with nuts on. Probably put the bolt on this side because of clearance issues. Actually, I don't have any clearance issues either side. I could do that. Bolts and nuts, and we're going to see if I can create a rivet with some bolts and nuts. Let's see if it works. So at some point in time, I got tired of working on the Firebird. Didn't have a whole lot of time left. I had about half a day. So I figured, the dash, upper dash on the Dodge Ram pickup that I picked up for $300, it's cracked. And that's common with those things. I figured I got a new dash. Let's go ahead and swap that out. Oh boy. Just a tiny, tiny, tiny little bit of that. And then I just ran out of time before we had to go on a trip. I'm going to go ahead and replace this dash pad. I'm start off by apologizing for the light and the camera angles. There's only so much I can do because I'm going to be moving back and forth. I'm going to try and set you guys right here. Hopefully you'll be able to kind of get the majority of what I'm doing. Again, we'll see how it goes. So I'm guessing that probably the first thing I could probably do before I even break any tools out is get rid of some of this debris. Like I said, this happens, pretty often to these vehicles. This is one of the worst I've seen. But the more kind of broken pieces I can get out of the way, the less there is in the way, I guess you could call it. So, all right, that's pretty much it on this side. Okay. Let me see if there's anything broken on the other side. All right, it's over on this side. Oh, yep, there's more. Okay, we'll leave that for now. I think that pretty much covers the obviously broken pieces. An 8mm is your friend for a lot of this dash. Let me go ahead and grab one of those. At this point, there probably is an order of disassembly. However, I think that kind of went out the window when everything kind of broke. So I've got a series of bolts here up at the base of the windshield. Go ahead and get those out. All right, let me go on the other side and grab that one. Okay, it's got one in the middle here. All right. So these are pretty specific here. They kind of only go in one place. And I'm going to just kind of keep everything all situated kind of about where it needs to go. All right, so that's still not going. I can pull this out. And we've got another broken piece. There's a little pin there. I'll have to pop that out. Another one there. Another one there. All right, let me go back on the other side. Again, there probably is an actual order of disassembly here. I'm just kind of going based on the amount of broke parts here. So see what comes off when. Nope. Okay, that one probably gone to the land of Narnia. Okay. Ooh, that's nasty. So what's this trip I'm talking about? Well, for the last few months, I've been looking for how to improve the shop experience and how to improve Mr. and Mrs. Maverick's lives. We've been looking for property, new house, something with a shop, and we found something that might work. So here's a little tour of the shop, or what might become the shop if it works out that I can turn it into a shop. Take a look. Tell me what you think. Okay, walking in the commercial building, you got an entrance here with a false wall and glass doors for the entry. Ceiling is 9.5 feet tall, but we're going to measure the outside. Concrete floors that seem to be in fairly decent shape. Don't know, got to be insulated, but I don't know, it's not drywall. And that's probably, I don't know, concrete blocks up to a certain point. You said this used to be a laundromat and tanning salon? Okay. Electricity, I've got outlets everywhere. That's good. Not sure about what's going on there, but that's okay. Building dimensions are 70 by 38. Solid poles there. You've got a wall unit air conditioner there. Got propane heat here. Let's go look at the utility room. I do have a raised floor here. Have to figure out some kind of a ramp to get in there. And an interior wall that will probably have to be knocked down. Humongous water heater, probably overkill. Electricity coming in here is unbelievable. I mean, if it was an old laundromat, it's got way more than I need, but it's got 220 in, which is a big thing. And this is an interior wall that I'm sure can be taken out. Humongous propane heater. And this is the second room. These are individual rooms that will all have to be knocked down. And their garage door is back in here. Might even be okay without having to change it. We've been trying to look at this property for probably over a month, and with the holidays recently, it just wasn't going to happen. And then, well, winter hit with a vengeance, and there for a week or so, the weather was too bad to go and look at it. And then it looked like there was a weather window, and we made it up there, cold, but nice weather there, but not back home. And we wound up getting stranded for 2 days up there because we couldn't get back here. Here in the South, it never snows. Everybody knows that until it does. And boy, did it. So after sitting where we were for 2 days, it looked like it was going to clear up enough to get back here. And it mostly did, except the last 30 miles or so. And take a look. I'm not sure they even plowed these.
Well, it kind of doesn't look like they did.
Like they did.
It's just
This is cars. There. Okay. Now, I know all you guys up north are going to say, what's the big deal? It's only a couple inches of snow. And you're right, up there. Down here, No. Um, I've lived in the South, Southwest, the Intermountain West, tropics most of my life. And we can't handle winter weather. It's just the truth. Anyway, that's going to do it for this week, guys. Certainly appreciate everybody tuning in. I know this wasn't a whole lot of car content this time, and I'll be back to, I'm not sure, either the Firebird or the Dodge Ram. I've got to kind of work on the Ram this week. Hope I can get it running because the transmission in my shop truck went kaboom. And I'm kind of short on vehicles right now. So who knows? Next week you might see a tear down and rebuild of a 4.6 RE. We'll see. We'll see you guys next week on something. Everybody, have a great day.